Give me a second. We are, make sure we're able to go live. There's lots of people coming right now. Okay, perfect. All right. Let me do this. Okay, welcome everybody. This is Dr. Nancy Lee, Direct Product Feature in Forbes. I'm the founder of PM Accelerator. So you're in our AI PM Bootcamp, which is our signature program in helping product managers, AI designers, AI engineers, data scientists gain real life, hands-on AI product management or AI engineering skills by launching a production level AI product so that by the end of the bootcamp, you're able to have a product that your hiring managers is able to use and log in. And because we also launch a product by leveraging our 100,000 subscribers network, once it's ready, you will also instantaneously get thousands users once it pushes through our subscribers network. Okay, so this will become your company advantage compared with other people who only doing some capstone project at school and doing some prototype. To be frank, those kind of prototype, you can use AI to build it within 30 minutes. By the way, I teach you how to do it for free on my YouTube. Everyone can just learn it for free on YouTube nowadays. But what's the differentiator between you and other product managers and other AI engineers is somebody who actually build production level product and with real users. And not only you have user, you also start to see the real AI performance, which is AI is going to hallucinate, AI is going to start like acting, do things for you if you build an AI agent. All those real life challenges, technical challenges we're facing going to be extremely valuable to be talked about during your interview, and not to mention you have real users demonstrate, hey, this is a real production level product and customers like as well. Okay, so what we are doing right here is we are week 4 of AI PM Bootcamp. Okay, so what is AI PM Bootcamp? AI PM Bootcamp is our program help product managers landing AI PM job through hands-on experience. We also hired a team of this. I think this cohort will have almost 100 interns, developers, software engineers, and data scientists to build real life product with our product managers. And right now, today we are actually doing the team match with our product managers. How to work is in the past couple of weeks, our product managers already finished the idea evaluation. They conducted voice customer interviews. They did some preliminary research about different kind of AI hypotheses, test out different models. And now we are matching them with our AI engineers and data scientists so they can hit the ground and running and build a production level AI product. Okay, and quick intro regarding who is Product Manager Accelerator. Actually, we are the biggest, the product management training organization in the space who specialize in landing a PM job or AI product management job out there. We literally, our students already currently landed AI PM job offer in Google, Meta, Amazon, NVIDIA, Apple, all the tier 1 companies. And we're also doing in the final round interview with OpenAI right now. And our intern who are AI engineers through our past cohort, some of them land a full-time job offer as AI engineers, software engineers at AWS and Amazon, all different kind of like even including some like a BlackRock bank, some like people going to investment bank in different places, or most of them stay in tech as a product manager. Oh, sorry, our AI engineer as AI engineers. Those are the engineering track. Okay, so those all based on your work you put in, being able to launch this real life AI product. And also personal story regarding why I believe AI is very transformative. It's crazy. So I started AI bootcamp 2 years ago when I had my second baby. Before I went on maternity leave, I have 8 full-time employees. After I come back, I have 4 full-time employees. I cut them in half. I accidentally replaced them by AI because when we do maternity leave, I always have nothing to do. I need to be intellectually stimulated besides changing diapers and sleep. So I started exploring AI. I was like, holy cow, this can actually start to increase efficiency. And then I would come back, I use AI to actually replace many team members in my team, but was able to serving more students like you guys. So this is very transformative and very exciting news for everybody is that last week we put our AI resume writer in production. So how it works is our AI resume writer is able to have 10% response rate for the resume you submit online. So what it means is you apply for 80 jobs, you get 8 interviews. If you know how to pass the interview, you land minimum 1 or 2 offers out of 8 interviews nowadays. So therefore, it's very powerful. I can see how powerful AI making things so efficient, and was able to really see great impact. AI is not crypto, it's not gonna go down. I think this is the future. We are at the beginning of AI era. So therefore, congratulations. I see you guys putting the great effort, trying to build your career in AI, and you are going to be the one who actually going to be the ones who are setting the key milestone to the future as example for the AI era as well. So very, very exciting. So I want to see what you guys get to present today and what you guys can build together with our software engineers. Okay, so let's do this. Another very important thing I want to remind everybody is that now today after team match, you're gonna work in a team. Here's very important thing you must understand, okay? Team collaboration is the only skill set cannot be replaced by AI. Team collaboration, cross-functional team collaboration, team leadership. You must understand, nowadays, even AI can help you doing variety different work. All right, and even our AI interview writers, the AI resume writers, the product itself was trained over our 4 years data that was able to outperform the general AI tools out there. So many things will be transformed in AI in the coming few years or few months, to be frank. Your interactions with each other, with product managers, with your AI engineers, with your interns, all those human interaction, how to lead without authorities, how to convince others, how to address conflict. Those skill set is even more important given AI can do all the entry-level work for you nowadays. So therefore, I highly recommend everybody really cherish, see this experience as if you are already hired by Google, Meta, Amazon. How would you deal with interpersonal relationship? This is very, very important. Okay. So, and at the same time, let me also share with you the team culture, what the sample team culture look like. Let me, and also team match process. Hold on. This is the, let me do this. Let me share my screen. Your team culture is very critical. That is going to make it or break it in terms of how to develop the product. So let me do this. If you go to announcement in our Discord channel, okay, so see the pinned message. There is the first one pinned with the team culture examples. You can, I also link it in a different, very different check sheet later on. We'll show you where to find those, okay? It's in a week by week study guide for product managers. Now, just on the review, the example team cultures. Okay, very important. You guys can create your own team cultures after you had your engineers join your team later on. But right now, I want to elaborate more regarding example team culture. For example, set your team culture such challenge, but respect. This is one of the top team from last cohort, and talk about the different team cultures we have created. For example, like challenge, but respect, contribute consistently, voice early, align early, and team before ego, and biases for action, document, don't assume. Okay, those are example team cultures. You guys are able to leverage, create your own team culture as well. Everything right here is in the announcement channel, pin channel. You guys can jump and read it yourself and create your own team culture as well. Okay. At this, now let me also talk about the logistics of the onboarding. Here is the sheet. Oh, by the way, before we talk about the logistic, how to match, let me quickly talk about the intern reward. If you go to announcement channel and in the pinned message, I have a session regarding the intern rewards. And this is all different kind of rewards. We put our intern based on the contribution to the team, based on many different things. Do you complete? Do you participate? Do you actively contribute to the team and to be a good team members and team players within the team? Okay, then we put our intern into different levels of tiers, such as tier 1 AI trailblazer with different criteria and different recognitions, and as well as AI innovator and AI rising stars. Of course, your reward is different. All right, and each tier is different. The more contribution you have, the more reward you have. Such as we have customized all the resume review and some of the interns, the top intern using our AI resume for free. So like 10% response rate, apply for 100 jobs, you have 10 interviews, and you land offer out of 10 as an example, right? So we'll also have senior executive recruiter write your resumes for our top interns as well. Now, all the details, there's so much different details. Please go to the Discord channel, announcement channel in the pin session. You're able to see all the details right here. Okay, so now let's quickly dive into how do we do team match today. And let's do this. This is team match. That's what we got. Okay, so let me this
have it
is
in the product ideas.
it's on the product ideas. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. So important things. What we are gonna happen is our okay. So all the product managers, you need to pitch your idea. Let me talk about all the pitch process. I believe I put in the announcement is much easier.
Yeah, you put it in the announcements, correct?
Yeah, I think I forward to the announcement, so it's easier to locate. Okay, cool. All right. So the ideas we need to pitch is the following. All the product managers, we already have each team assigned. So you are going to pitch an idea based on idea overview, customer persona, voice customer interview result, any AI hypothesis validation result, roadmap, preliminary backup, and any additional progress update you want to share, and what type of or each tech resources looking for, and a different kind of expectation for different team members. Okay, so that's what you got here, and then get ready to pitch. And I believe the pitch sequence is all the pitch ideas is a summary, which is all here, which is also linked in your Discord channel right here. Okay, and at the same time, the hold on, let me reserve your spot is right here. The pitch sequence is right here. So we have many teams already reserve your spot right here. Perfect. Okay, so now let me show you guys how to find the link. It's all in the announcement. Everybody go to announcement right here. So that's a pitch sequence. Okay, and for each team, each interns, whatever team you're interested, at the end you need to submit your top result, which, and then I'll put it here. So that's a form you submit. You pick the top 3 teams you're interested. Okay, let me also forward to the announcement. I think all the important ones, so same duplication, same messages. Now we're putting announcement. Okay, so this is a form for our interns to submit. Okay, to choose your top teams. Okay, so everything, we forward everything all in the announcement channel. So it's all in one place. It's easy for you guys to find. All right, announcement cohort 9. Understand announcement cohort 9. Okay, cool. All right. Last thing, camera on, and also and change your Zoom background. And if you see any bad team lead, you need to report as well in terms of people who don't know how to lead as well. Camera on, Zoom background, let's go. And if you see the Zoom, I believe the Zoom background we listed here. Update your Zoom background. Go to announcement of cohort 9. Update your Zoom background. There's a click the link, which can show you all the files you can update with Zoom background based on your role. Okay, understand everything is in cohort 9 announcement Discord channel. Okay, that's the most important announcements are here. Okay, cool. Now let's do this. And now for people who, I think our Zoom room is full. For people who's not able to join Zoom, they can watch directly on YouTube live stream. I'm going to grab the link, and then you can directly message them on the Discord, on the waiting room of Zoom.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Let me do and we can email all of them as well. So now let's do this. Without further ado, let's follow the sequence. Shubham, your team, Locust, your personal AI context layer, let's go. So feel free to start sharing. And by the way, I'm going to time everybody is allow here, time everybody total. I believe total is 10 minutes. 8 minutes pitch, 2 minutes Q&A. Okay, 10 minutes per person. Oh, by the way, final update. Today's also a special day for me. Not my birthday. Today, I'm getting US citizenship exam. So, I spent 11 years to get my green card, 6 years to get my citizenship. If I pass the exam today, so I need to leave early. I need to leave early. Okay, so you guys in good hands with Anil. But I'll still with you for the first hour or so. Okay, then I need to leave early for my citizenship exam. Hopefully I can pass. Shall see. But I'll let you know. Okay. Cool. But I will spend the first hour with you. Okay. Then you will see me secretly get out for my exam. All right. Either way, so but you guys are in good hands, and now it's going to help you guys out.
There
So
should be an AI for that as well, passing the citizenship exam.
oh yeah, the AI prep. Do the AI prep.
Yep.
That's funny. Very cool. All right, talk soon. So, no, I'm still here. I'm still here. Right. Present. Everyone present. Let me let's go, and then make Anil a host. Shubham, you can go. I'm ready to start your timer.
Okay, sure.
Anil, you can try. You can see the timer or not on your end.
No, yeah, I don't know where I find the timer.
This app. There's something called app. Underneath it, there's a share, host, AI companion. There's also something called apps. You
Okay.
click open, and then it will show the timer app.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but I will start timing for now. But once I'm gone, you can time them. Okay, so everybody, let's go.
Now can I see, is it visible? Okay. So, okay, welcome to the idea of Locus. So Locus AI is basically, came up from my personal pain point. Working as a PM, I found like data is quite scattered everywhere. So I thought, why, try to, build a tool, something like Locus AI, where you can have, all your data consolidated, all the files, quick as to, as fast as quick, you can retrieve it. So talking about the Locus AI, it is basically MCP native, AI contextual layer, which is basically an agentic AI layer which sits between Slack, Gmail, and Notion. And we are planning to connect, Slack, Gmail, and Notion along with different connectors so as to serve like a consolidated environment or the agentic AI layer, which is called the Locus AI. So the problem was, what happens is basically team members basically swaps application from Slack to Gmail just to retrieve data, and the search keep going on, right? So for example, the decision which was made in the Slack on Tuesday is gone by Friday, and we keep making multiple decisions at the same point of time. So this is based on the customer interviews. I found like about 94% of the people loses data every year. So talking about the Locus AI architecture, so we will have like Slack, Gmail, and Notion, three connectors for all three platforms, where teams actually decide the decision. We are planning to connect Haiku and Sonic as the integrated LLM, which will basically either discard or keep the decision based on the accuracy. And once it gets the decision, it will basically structure it, and then it will be integrated with the entire platform, which is basically Locus AI. One of the tool, Glean, it basically finds document, but Locus will be able to capture decision as well. So this is one of the moat of Locus AI. Now, based on the customer interviews which I conducted, we had a sample size of about 25 customer interviews, and we found that independent consultant, product designers, and early startup founding teams, they are pretty much having this core pain point of retrieving data as quick as possible. And I found there is a need of a tool like this, which could certainly cater the need of the customers as well. So about 17 people out of 25, they want early access, which is basically one of the good pain point. We understand. Then these are basically scores out of 5, like ICP scores. So the pain point is basically 3 out of 5, and their willingness to pay for the product is also good. So based on this, we had these hypothesis validations for the customer interviews. So based on the customer interviews, about 94% the people confirm that the pain is real and frequent, which basically give more confidence to build the Locus AI. And the tools which exist as of now are not adequate enough to cater the pain point of the customer. And for the Locus AI, we do not require any sort of manual intervention. Everything will be automated through agentic AI frameworks. So now we are basically considering 2 cloud models, right? And we basically calculated the risk score. How effective will it be? So we have finalized Haiku and Sonic could be 2 of the most effective LLMs which could be integrated in our entire agentic AI pipeline. So as of now, the product roadmap looks like this. We'll have the entire pipeline, decision log, and contextual search on Slack and Notion. And later on July, we are planning to build this entire thing, and we'll be integrating with Stripe and other features by August 8th. So we'll have our MVP ready. And further, we can plan on integrating more connectors like SharePoint, OneDrive, or could be Microsoft Teams as well, based on the public API if it is available. So this is basically the full functional prototype which I would like to share. So this is basically a prototype. It's a fully functional prototype. So this is basically the home screen as of now, if you can see. This is basically the sign up option for the user. And this is how the entire integration works. Once you connect the Slack, Notion, it will basically pull all the recent messages and pages from the Slack threads, your Gmail, and your Notion. And it will basically classify the decisions and actionable items, and also tell you what are the blockers. So if you see on the home screen, these are basically some of the toolbar. For example, if I put what did we decide about the third quarter timeline, it will basically give you all sort of results like this, the important decision that we captured so far. So this is basically a decision log which will have all sort of data which keeps coming from it. And Pulse is basically on a weekly or a monthly basis what decisions were taken based on who has taken. So this is the overall picture of how the MVP will basically look like. Coming back to the slide. So as of now, what we have done is basically we have PRD ready. We interviewed almost 25 customers. We have high mock-up frame ready. We have system architecture and design analysis. Currently, we are validating more requirements in terms of what model could be more effective. As of now, we are considering Haiku and Sonic, which are primarily the focus point. And we are basically looking for 2 more engineers, I would say, at least 2 or 3 engineers. Our team as of now comprising of 4 team members. We'll be looking for someone who has, good hands-on experience with Python, Fast API, and more of like integrating LLM and all. A little bit of that would be fine. So I guess that's pretty much from my end, and this is the overall overview of the Locus AI. Thank
Great.
you.
Anyone have any questions? Especially from developers. Siobhan, good job presenting. Timing too.
There's a question from Jody. Is the data pulled and stored into a database or queried when the user starts searching?
So data will be stored in PG vector database. Then from there, the query will be started. So query filters will be used while searching and pulling out the data.
Everyone, you can unmute yourself or raise your virtual hands to ask questions. Okay, so no need to just put on the chat. And well, unless you don't want to talk to people, and chat is fine.
Artvara, you can ask, or Tarun, you can ask your question live.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Actually, I just want to ask a question that which type of real life problem is it actually solving, and like what is the main purpose of this particular project?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So as of now, I personally felt, and I interviewed like many customers as well, who are basically working very effectively like across the teams. So what we do recently, we basically put data everywhere. We have like different PDF files, decisions, hyperlinks everywhere scattered over Gmail, Notion, OneDrive, SharePoint. We cannot have a consolidated repository where we can have all the data shared because most of the companies cannot expose their data due to their internal privacy, so they cannot integrate LLM. So we are basically building Locus AI, a proper right pipeline which should be able to pull your data and make your quick retrieval of data as well.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So are you using Claude, ChatGPT, AI Gemini?
We are using Claude Sonnet and Claude Haiku. These are the 2 models we are using. Yeah.
Do you have to pay for that? Because I was thinking of using Claude, but then it's like a subscription, and it's like I'm not working, so it's like.
I have a pro subscription, so that's why we thought to use Claude because it is more impactful. Earlier we used trial having Llama, but I thought this could be more effective in terms of data retrieval.
Now, what about your clients? Are they using Claude or are they using other AI?
Mostly they are like 75% of them are using Claude.
And how do you find your clients? Like when you interview them, do you go to like social media? Do you go to LinkedIn? Do you like go face to face?
I utilized LinkedIn. No, it was completely virtual interviews. 2 of them were, just in-person interviews. So I have like a big circle of, all the product management people and business analyst people. And I reach out to many people over the LinkedIn and in my network as well. So that's how I got the customer.
Oh, so you don't just reach out to anybody, you know who to choose?
I mean, mostly I'm targeting people who are having, program management, product management background.
Oh, okay.
Data heavy, yeah.
Thank you.
Let me do a quick recap for all the interns. That's why at the beginning I said we're doing production level real life AI product people can use. So our product managers are well trained. Before developers join, product managers start the cohort earlier. We already taught them how to find the customers, to do voice customer interviews. We use the industry best standard product management methodology to conduct voice customer interview, understand this is something they really want to use, really want to pay if we start launching the product. So they have gone through the very rigorous process, and many of the ideas who didn't go through the process in the right way, and we already killed those ideas. So all the ideas who present today, validate the ideas and customers want to use. And once it's built, we're able to drive user to them as well. But that's a great question. Okay, everybody change your Zoom background, change your real name as well for Zoom, because when you see the attendance, it's easier for us to match you to the right team later on. Awesome. So now for the sake of time, let's save time for the next team. All the conversation, make sure you guys continue to have your conversation in the chat, in the Discord channel or Zoom chat, okay? All right. So next one, good job, Shubham. First one, break the ice. Good job. Shubham also have many years experience. He worked in the industry. That's why he just find his like connections to do voice customer interview. He know what they need. Okay, we really like this the idea. All right. You guys have the sequence. I don't need name next one, but I'll name it for now. Wonder World AI.
Me. Are you able to
Let's
hear?
go. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Really quick, put all of your questions in the product ideas channel. So all the PMs know to look in the product ideas channel to answer any additional questions.
Okay. Now I'm going to share the screen, okay? Is it visible?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hi guys, I am Rhythm and I'm presenting Wonderword AI. This is a kids app who are like falling behind in reading, who wants to increase their vocabulary, who wants to get better understanding of the meaning of the word. That is what the gist of what we are building in cohort 9 is. So we are targeting kids who are from kindergarten to 5th grade, that is elementary. So this is the idea generation. They bring their homework home or anything, whatever they are reading. It can be a comic book, a library book, homework snapshot. They just have to click the snapshot of it and put it in our website, and it will tell you how, like, what to read. And while reading, it will also tell you the highlighted words, like where the kid is right now. That's karaoke style listening is, because the AI is listening how the kid is pronouncing the word. Is it pronouncing correctly, syllable by syllable? It is theme based. If the kid is stuck, like for example, he's stammering or is stuck for like 2 to 3 seconds, the AI kicks in and tells if you are stuck, then it will get into a different page and it will tell you the meaning of it with the theme-based explanation, and also how to pronounce the word correctly. And later on, after like 2 weeks after, our website will give the parents a diagnostic report, how well the kid has progress in the entirely. And while giving that, it will also give the recommendation to it that these are the words we have focused on. And further ado, you have to focus on this, and you can do it while it will give you the explanation how to do with the kid. This is our customer persona. We did like 15 to 20 interviews from past 2 weeks. All the PM in my team did 5 to 7 interviews, and with the Google form, they all find that people like kids who are struggling, this will help them. This is the report which I have generated. Not I have generated. We have generated a Google form, like a survey we have given to the parents. They have filled it out, and this is the report for it. The overall gist, the pain points, how they are feeling about it, how there are like, for example, one of the parents were saying there are like 30 students in each class, how teacher is focusing on each of the students. So this is this is the hypothesis of validation. Like if Wonder AI achieves under 10% word recognition error on child speech or a stuck word correction loop, parents will value it over ChatGPT as homework helper or as a speech therapist, or if they will be willing to pay X amount of money to us. This is the price we are thinking as of now, but going forward, we are going to think if a parent have 2 kids they want to enroll, or they want to go for a monthly subscription. So we are in future, we are also thinking about that. This is like a architecture we are planning to do. There will be 2 pipelines. One will be like Whisper AI. They will scan it OCR and it will load it into our website and it will do accordingly. Other will be the RAG pipeline where the kid is stuck in like after 2.5 or 3 seconds, it will kick in. It will tell what to do next. It will be theme based. You can choose, the kid can choose whatever theme they want to learn from. And with this, I want to tell you this tech stacks. We are looking in like 5 building blocks: the OCR, the speech, the detection, the grounding, and the generation. We are all looking at Claude, and these are the databases we are looking for the engineers and developers to build. We are also looking for COPA, that is the compliance, where the kid's voice is not like recorded in our system for their privacy. This is the 8-week roadmap we are looking at. Week 2, we need to design the solution. We need to build the foundation, the login, the worksheet upload, the speech understanding for the app, then mistake detection engine, correction, smart AI features. There are like reward system also where they can achieve at a certain level, and they can go ahead. And I'm gonna tell my designer to go forward and tell you how the login page and everything looks like. Alia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I'm showing you the pictures. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So really quickly, I'll just go through the workflow that we have right now, the user flow. So this would be the central, the landing page when someone's first like logging onto the app. And then if you can go to the next one. So this would be the onboarding process, trying to understand what the user needs, how many kids they have, what they're looking for. And then the next one, this is just another login page. And then if they have more than 1 kid, we were thinking they could have different profiles, similarly to how a streaming platform, you can switch between the profiles. And then we are giving the kids and parents their own home pages. So this would be the kids' homepage where they can find their worksheets, what they have to work through. They can upload their own homework, just something that's easy for them to understand and they can go through by themselves without their parents. And then to generate these stories, kids can choose between different themes so that it creates a story that actually engages them. And then for the parents, they're gonna get a whole like diagnostics page that explains kind of what their kids are working through and what they can improve on. So it's just showing them the overall progress. We're also gonna have insights for each section of this page that will help the parents better understand the information that they're looking at and what they can do to help their kids.
And we have like strong skills, need practice, and focus areas. So this way they can like let the kid know, or let themselves know that this is the area we need to focus on. And underneath this, we have a recommendation thing that the AI will generate from them. Like for example, but this week they have done the CH words. Now you have to like make them or understand or give recommendation accordingly, which are the next steps they have to follow. Also with the action plans. So this is what they are. Thank you, Alio. I'm sorry. I'm going back to the the slides. So this is all as of this is the primary mockups we did the onboarding. I have showed you everything, and this is the progress this we have done so far. Thank you all for listening to me. Any questions?
Any question for anyone? This is a very meaningful product.
Yeah, I do have a question actually.
Mm-hmm.
So you were saying you were not storing like children data, and after that you said you were using RAG. So what are you retrieving? Are you not retrieving the children's data? I didn't understand that part.
So you were what is your question? Can you come up with that again,
So
please?
when in the pipeline you're using RAG, right?
Mm.
So what are you retrieving exactly? What data are you retrieving?
See, if the kid is stuck in any word, like going through the worksheet or going through the story, if the kid is stuck, like for the RAG pipeline or the agentic AI, the AI chatbot will listen to the kid, and if he is stuck, it will click in and tell this kid that you are not alone, like in a fun way, not to get kids distracted or discouraged that he is not able to pronounce the word correctly. So
So,
the RAG pipeline will come in and tell the meaning of it to make him understand. And
So-
then, yeah.
So really what he's asking is, if you're not keeping like student name, student age, student progress, how do you then, like I'm on it 5 days a week. How do you know what I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday when you're not storing my data? That's what he's asking. Like, how do you
Exactly, yeah.
progress without knowing the student's unique identifying where he started, where he ended, what his age is, what the curriculum should be for that student? If you're not holding that data, that's the part of the RAG pipeline you need to see progress, right? But you said you're not keeping student information, but you kind of have to. How
No,
do you?
we are not storing the voice of the student.
But how
Whatever
about
he said.
demographic information, age, name, location, what grade? You have to store that, right?
Yes,
Okay.
of course we have to store that information, the grade, and that's where I think
So
the
you don't have to
compliance.
answer that now, but that's his question. What can you store? What shouldn't you store so that you could see progress over a time frame? That's the question being asked. You might
Okay.
not figure that out now, but that's something your team will have to think
Yeah,
through.
okay. I will definitely look into it and get back to you.
And like for that purpose, like that particular thing for like storing the things, are you using like embeddings or FAISS kind of things, anything like that, or nothing for that purpose?
So, right now we haven't decided yet. But going forward, if we will get these kind of questions, because we were not thinking, we were like building the architecture as of now. So then when the engineers will join us, and then we will think about it, and then going forward we will work on it.
Yeah, that's a question. Every team will have a lead engineer. That's really a question for the lead engineer. And FICE is just one of many vector databases that can be used, right?
Okay.
And what is the dimensionality of the tokenization? All of that the lead engineer will kind of determine. She's coming a holistic view. Once the engineers join,
Yeah.
system design architecture is the next step.
Okay, thank you.
Great. So for the sake of time, let's continue conversation in the chat. Next one, everyone has a sheet, you know your name, attuned AI.
Yep, that's me. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So hi everyone, I'm Steph, and this is Attuned, an AI-powered parenting companion. So first of all, let me start with the problem, because if this doesn't land, then nothing else matters. 81% of parents have a moment that they're not proud of how they reacted every single week with their kids. 100% of them say that their own stress even makes it worse when they react. And many of them, 35%, have really not tried anything to help with their parenting. So this isn't an information problem. Parents know what they should do, they just can't access it when they are exhausted and triggered. And every parenting app out there responds by actually adding more content. So you have different resources, things to read, courses, things like that. But none of them really address the parent's emotional state in the moment, and that's the gap that Attuned is building for. A parent who's struggling can't really help a child that's struggling. You have to start with the parent, and that's what we are building. So what does Attuned does in a nutshell? And this will make a lot more sense once you see the live prototype. But we have one AI companion, we've called it Koa, who meets parents in 4 separate moments. The first one is Know My Child. This is a living profile of the kid's recurrence, emotions, triggers, developmental patterns. It gets smarter the more the parent talks with AI. The second one is In This Moment, and this is where Koa shines. This is the real-time support during the hard moments that parents are having and afterwards, whenever they've gone through a tantrum or something like that. Then we have My Reactions, which is what really surfaces the parents' own patterns across the different sessions. So what is triggering them? We give them gentle recommendations of what to try, what are the things that they can change to become better parents. And Bedtime Together. So all the features that we are building actually feed into bedtime. And this turns what happens in today's session and this week's sessions into a personalized bedtime story. So we are turning all these hard moments actually into connection. And our underlying thesis is pretty much this dual attunement. Regulate the parent so that you unlock their ability to regulate their kid. Who we're building for? My working parent of a child aged between 2 and 12. She's tried a lot of apps, books, nothing is really working. She doesn't need more content. She needs something that really meets her in the moment when she's already flooded. She sees that her reactions are triggering and tries to repair with her kids, but she's not confident about it. And that's the gap of what we're building for. Now, this we're not building this out of assumptions. We actually talked to over 10 parents. We did live interviews across different continents, and 3 signals came back unprompted, even because we're not asking them in the interviews. So parents want this real time, not just before things escalate with their kids. One mom even said, "I wish something could chime in and say, go take a break." A dad even proposed an AI tool to revisit those hard moments with their kids afterwards. And 100% of them said that their own stress makes it worse whenever they react. So again, this is not a knowledge gap. It's an access gap in the moment and the pattern underneath those reactions. And that's what Attune is built for. Now, the interesting part for you guys is what we're actually building here, because this is not just a GPT wrapper with a parenting prompt. So we are building a 2-model pipeline. First, we have GPT-5 Nano for the extraction. So it's deterministic, it's fast. Whatever the parent typed, we get that behavior, that emotion, that need. Then we provide this to GPT 5.4 Mini, which this combined with our different vector stores, and I'll talk about that, is what generates the AI response. So we focus on each model only doing what it's good at. We are using RAG, so every response is grounded against 2 vector stores. First, we are going to build this 100 scenario corpus curated in NVC, which stands for Nonviolent Communication, Gottman, Siegel, and CDCL milestones. Think of this as clinical and developmental frameworks that tell COA what a child actually needs at each stage. And second is a pair-parent memory layer that continues building from the parent's own session history as they interact with the app. So the model doesn't know your kid. It's the retrieval layer that does. And that's our proprietary asset. And because this intelligence lives in this retrieval layer, we can swap models and they are interchangeable at any point in time. Now, 3 of our 4 features also will run as multi-step AI async workflows and AI agents. What we are doing and what makes this interesting is that we will build this once as a reusable template. So the 3 different features have have the same infrastructure, but we give them different retrieval filters and different prompt templates, and where they show that information will be shown in different parts of the app. Apart from this, we're building a safety cascade because we really want to avoid Attune getting into any clinical territory. Now, you will have access to the slides, but the roadmap pretty much for us, to keep it short, we built the foundation in the first 2 weeks, then we build the reusable workflow, and then we do the integration and we ship. And now I'm going to pass it over to Vidika, our designer, who will quickly show you the live prototype that we have.
Okay, so if everyone can see it, this is our Figma prototype. We basically have an onboarding process initially. Is it visible? Okay. So we have an onboarding process initially, which is where we get to know both the parent and the child because they're both equally important for Attuned. So we know a little bit about their lifestyle, and then we focus on the parent's feelings. So what has been tough for them? What are they going through? Then we'll look at the child, obviously get the key details like their age and their name. And after that, we focus on both the children. So this parent, for example, has 2 children, and we'll focus on the emotions of both. And we'll also focus on what are some moments that need extra care with both children. Again, all of this information is discovered just in the onboarding process itself. Afterwards, we have a pop-up that you'll see immediately after you get on the landing page, where we first resonate with the parent. So we respect them, we make them feel heard, seen, and valued. Then we want to focus on the child itself and help them understand what the child might be seeing and how every problem will be viewed differently by a parent and a child. So we want the child's point of view to also be understood. And then finally, we want to give them something valuable to try immediately as soon as they finish the onboarding process. And so this is where they get to try an exercise with their child. Then we actually get to the landing page. Here we have 3 of the 4 features that Estef had just explained. Know Your Child is basically a profile picture or a profile page where they get to see where the child is right now, what are some exercises you can try, and what exactly are some of the struggle points with the child that are being worked on and hopefully will be navigated through in their own time. And if it doesn't work, or if it's not something that you like, an exercise didn't work for you, you can always let us know and we will use that information to update our advice that we give you. After that, we have reactions. This page is just for the parents. So this is where they get to see what are some behaviors that they have that might be unconscious or go unnoticed, and what are some reflection prompts that they can fill out to help support that. And then finally, we have Bedtime Together, which, as explained, is where they get a personalized bedtime story that they can explain to the child to learn a little lesson in a fun way. And then we have Koa, which is our amazing AI. And here we have some pre-generated prompts that the parent can use. But like this parent knew that they wanted to talk about Mike, so they immediately gave a little prompt. And based on that, we were able to answer, explaining that Mike might be feeling this, but here's how we can help them. And we understand your feelings. So we're reassuring both the parent and the child. And just like that, that is our prototype. Thank you so much.
Very cool. You guys made lots of progress. Good job, the designer team.
Yeah, I do have like some quick things, Dr. Nancy, just to finish. So we do have a recommended stack defined, but I do want to be clear that these are recommended starting points. The final implementation does belong to the team, to the engineers that will work with us. And also, just to as a note, we are launching as a PWA so that we're able to ship faster, iterate faster, and then this gives us a clear path to that native iOS, Android, once the core product is proven. What really matters to us is that we build component as model agnostic and ready to be swapped without touching the rest. Here's some progress of the things that we have done. Again, you will have access to the slides. I know we are over time. But what we're looking for, really, engineers who want to build something that actually matters and a portfolio project that is worth showing off with real AI engineering. So this is a real multi-step agentic RAG system, not just an API wrapper. And it's really the kind of build that will stand out in your resume. So we also want engineers to have like that safety and testing mindset for the LLM judge cascade. And here it is, like a meaningful problem for us to solve with real AI engineering. And we want you guys to join us to help make this happen. And now I'll take any questions alongside with my team. We are a team of 3 PMs and 2 designers. Everyone is amazing at what they do. Really cool to work with. So that's that.
I really love the color scheme of the design. It's very so amazing. Well done.
Thank you. Those are our designings, Vidika and Tina. Thank you.
Will you build a web app for it and then a mobile app, or straight to mobile app?
That's right. So we're doing a PWA, so web-based with the real look and feel of a native app. The first, because we're not going native first, we have the ability to test first that core product, make sure that we find that product market fit, and then after the bootcamp, we should be able to move into native.
Okay.
Yeah, everything here will be like React.js or Next, not like React Native, for example. So yeah, it'll be web-centric, but those components can be transferred to React Native if that's what the team decides to do afterwards.
Yeah, the reason is if we only do web version, the development time will be longer. So we try to only do mobile version. So therefore we'll do web-based version first. We get some early adopters, see if it's working, people want to use it, and then we develop the next stage. So usually there's no one-stop shop. When Steve Jobs launched the iPhone, it's not one-stop shop. He's going to build something first and evolve on top of it to guarantee the success. This is how typical all the product management product is getting built. And trust me, all the parents who suffer from child challenges, we are willing to use it, regardless it's on a website or it's on a mobile phone. Okay, especially for early adopters. And then you can make it like in variety of different versions as you go. Okay, great job, this team. Next team, let's go. By the way, all the conversation, make sure to continue in the Zoom chat or in Discord channel, project idea channel, okay? Health Buddy AI. Fahad, let's go.
Fahad, are you on mute?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Sorry, something happened to. All right, let me share my screen again.
We can see Health Buddy. We can see your screen.
Yeah. Oh, you're shared already. Okay. All right. All right. So Health Buddy AI. So I started this idea to create a personal health command center, but for the sake of our boot camp, we have to narrow our scope and only focus on one part of the solution, the problem that we want to solve. So Health Buddy AI is a caregiver app for patients. So not only for caregivers, but also patients themselves. So the problem in the United States is that the patient information resides in different portals. So depending on which EMR the doctor is using. So me as a patient, if I have to go to the primary care physician, I'll have to log into a different portal. If I'm going to a cardiologist, different portal. The information is scattered. So the idea is to bring all the information in for the patient in one place, and at the same time help them manage their drugs to make sure that the patient is compliant. So we're using the AI to basically close the loop between the caregiver. Let's say, for instance, your parent is taking medication and you are a caregiver. You want to make sure that they are taking their medication, not missing their doses, not missing their appointments, not missing their refills. So AI takes care of all of that for you. So here's the problem. There are 63 million family caregivers. Just the scenario persona that I just gave you. 100 billion to 300 billion dollars are lost due to non-adherence. So the insurance companies are willing to pay pharmacies extra money to make sure those patients don't end up in the hospital to pay the big bills. And all out of that, out of the US population, 61.2 million people are at the age of 65 who are seniors who need some kind of caregiving. What breaks today? So medication bottles, lab reports, doctor instructions, pharmacy calls, and portal messages that are scattered that I mentioned earlier. Caregivers do not have they don't know if the dose was taken by their loved one, if the refills are running out, or there is an follow-up that's due. And then plans and pharmacies care because adherence impacts utilizations, as I mentioned, the dollar value that's lost. And then there's a thing called Medicare star rating. Based on the star rating, that pharmacies get different contracts from various insurance carriers. So the primary persona here is the one I just mentioned earlier, that Sarah is an adult daughter managing DAS medication, and she lives separately from their parents, so she needs visibility on what's going on with the DAS medication and labs and all that. So what the AI actually, what it does is that it calls and informs the caregiver, saying that if there is a refill gap, if there's a lab that needs to be scheduled, and then there's a dashboard that clearly shows all, which I'll show you later on, that shows you all the information. The voice of customer. So we have five doctors within my family who are helping us building this app. I have a very extensive background in pharmacy industry, which represents almost half of the pharmacies in the United States. I was a product manager building their technologies, and I already have prior experience with speaking with pharmacies and patients and different vendors. Also, I have access to senior care centers. One of my friends who manages three senior care centers here in New York City. I've have his voice as well. Early segment thesis. So this is in a B2B and B2C application, meaning we're giving subscription to the caregivers and the patients to manage their drugs and reports, but also we have the opportunity to white label this and sell this solution to pharmacies, doctors. One of my nephews has a telemedicine EMR. He already has a patient base, and I have the opportunity to target those patients. So closing the loop. So this is how it looks like. Let's say, for instance, the patient has metformin that's due, and this will pop up on their screen of the patient saying that have you taken the medication, not taken the patient out of pills. Depending on how the alert will work, I'll show you later on. It could be on the app, it could be a call coming in, or it could be a text message coming on, popping up on your phone. So to make sure that it's not missed. The caregiver, AI understands the response. It could be done through the voice. And then it will pop up on the caregiver's app saying, hey, Robert may be out of metformin. And what is the action that needs to be taken? Create a refill task, call the pharmacy, and acknowledge. Basically, the caregiver will call the pharmacy themselves. We're keeping the human in the loop right now, but once we have confidence later on, we'll automate this. We don't have to ask the caregiver. The AI can automatically handle that. Let's see, I'm going to quickly go through. Okay, so the AI hypothesis, like what's the AI in this application, the OCR, and then the LLM parsing the drug medication information from the bottle. So the patient will actually register the medication first. Obviously, the patient needs to have a profile. So we're taking the picture of the medicine from the vial that they have and reading the information off of it and registering in the system. So we have a parser, and the LLM will parse the information and store it in the database. Then we have the voice agents. We have 6 voice agents who have different tasks. Different tasks to call the pharmacies, call the appointments, doctors, calling the caregiver. I'll show you the system diagram later on, which actually has all the information in one snapshot. AI can coordinate extreme calls, trusted content support explanation. So we're integrating with third party to give meaning to that information. So Mediline Plus Connect is a free third party solution designed for this specific purpose to explain what this drug is, what it is used for, your lab report. So let's say, for instance, your cholesterol level is high. Will explain you, okay, this is what is acceptable range, and if you're over, explain you how can you perhaps keep it down by exercising or things like that. But it would not give you any medical advice. That's part of our guardrails. AI can prioritize next actions based on obviously the feedback from the caregiver, the LLM summaries and things like that. I mentioned earlier that the medical explanation part, the third party that we're integrating with, that's their lab explanation. So the report that you are uploading, that is being explained, and then we have guardrails in place too. There's no diagnosis or treatment advice, no dose changes. This is the system architecture that we have designed. So you have the user level, caregiver, patient, and then channels with which they're alerting the caregiver and patient. We have the OCR, the pitch, you take a picture of the vial, or the bottle, or the patient instructions, extracting the data from there and recording against the user. And then same thing with the lab. Then you have your dashboard, your patient's profile. I'll show you there's a UI that we have designed. In the AI layer, we have all these agents who have different tasks. And we are using Twilio to make phone calls for pharmacy refills or doctor appointments or lab appointments that the system is handling for you. And this is a third-party integration with Mediline Plus. So initially we had others, but we narrowed our scope down to Mediline Plus only. We're planning on using mini RAG or structured documentation, depending on the suggestion. Using encryption, we need to be HIPAA compliant in creating this app. So we'll handle that with BAA, either with AWS and OpenAI, because we're planning on using OpenAI for the LLM. This is how the mock-up kind of looks like to give you how we're envisioning it. This is a dashboard. What are today's priority actions to be taken? What is the medication snapshot? This is what the caregiver is seeing and the patient is seeing. If the medication is supposed to be taken, is it taken? Is it pending? If we call the call outcomes, if there's a call that went out, the reports.
Fahad, we are overtime. We're overtime.
Okay.
Question. Roadmap. I want to see roadmap. What need to be built in each week by what time before bootcamp ends?
Yes.
Scope is too
So
big.
we have finalized all the PRDs and designs. We have a mock that the wireframe that we still need to see by our designer. I just got a message this morning. We need to start working on the OCR part of it, manual entry, lab reports, the injection part of it, doctor referral extraction. So this is our roadmap that we have in mind.
It's really a lot that you are doing, even from a medical standpoint. Are you focusing on geriatrics, primary care, or are you focusing on like cardiology, for example? And then with this, you're doing way too much, even from an integration perspective. What is the main pain point? If you can do one thing.
The main pain point is, so I think you misunderstood. So the focus of the application is the patient and the caregiver, not the doctors and health centers. The health center part is that their patient, meaning getting feedback for the problems that they have, for the loop that's not closing, right? The adherence, patient not taking their drugs on time, not attending their appointments, not getting their blood work done.
Question. No, key problem is scope is too big. We can't finish in 11 weeks. Which one would you build?
Yeah,
first?
one thing, what would that be?
So when you say that we can't do these three things, which is the patient uploading the OCR part of it, and then the calling agents. meaning there's three parts, right? The OCR of the drug and the lab and the calling agents, right?
Okay, so that's the three you want to do.
Yes.
Not the trivial, whatever, refills, calling doctor lab, not
शाम को
everything
10
else.
So the
देखेंगे
Twilio is the calling agent, right? I mean,
लेकिन राय है
Someone speaking on email. Everyone please mute.
I put her on mute.
Okay, cool. So there is a lot on the chart. No way you can do it in 11 weeks. No way, everything on the no way everything on the chart we can do in 11 weeks. So which one on the chart we are going to do in this cohort? That's the question.
so you're saying that the integration with Twilio cannot happen?
Not happen in 11 weeks of the program. If you want to do Twilio, yes, that can happen in 11 weeks. Not Twilio plus pharmacy refill plus pictures plus this plus everything on the chart. That's my point. One thing I can do 11 weeks. One or two or something. And my point is everything here, not 11 weeks.
Okay.
So
So
which
we
one?
can.
That's the question. Which one or two or few that you want to do in 11 weeks?
Okay, so we can take the calling agent part out, but we can keep the OCR and the third-party integration, and then alerting the caregiver using the channels that is, which is the pop-up app, like within the app showing the alert, and yeah, sending. So that's the thing. That's the heart of the application, right? The calling part of it to close the loop.
We cannot close the loop in 11 weeks. That's why Steve Jobs built his iPhone not within 11 weeks. But Steve Jobs will build some version of the iPhone, something for people to use to see, do you want to buy it? You want to do it? You want to start punching some numbers? Can you call people? Steve Jobs focused on, can you use iPhone to call people? Yes, you can. Great, cool. Let's build fancier apps in iPhone, right? So layer on top of each other. First, most important function is, can you call? Oh, yes, you can. Fancy. Okay, so next step, right? So I know there's many things, close the loop. Yeah, iPhone need close the loop to do YouTube on iPhone. I know there's a loop, but Steve Jobs will not going to build the end-to-end loop since day one. Like, okay, step number one, what's the number one important milestone? iPhone need to call people.
Okay,
Or
what about
any other fancy function doesn't matter anymore. So what is your step number one that need to be done in 11 weeks?
okay, what about we take out the third-party integration and keep the Twilio?
You need to think about, you need to present to your whole engineering team.
Yeah,
Okay.
work with the engineer. It's just, third-party integration. I've done hundreds of them. They take a long time, right? There's just so much from an agreement standpoint, from a data standpoint. There's a lot involved. So this long story short, there's just a lot here. Work with your engineering team, but this is like a full implementation that kind of occurs. There's a lot being asked here, so you'll have to prioritize. Think through that with your engineering team, what that should be.
Okay. The fun part is this is not even 10% of the actual application that I have to build. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also talk to Mark. Your requirement is bring this to Mark, and your scope is way too big, impossible.
Okay.
Okay. One interview question in Google is, if I only give you 6 engineers for like 3 months, what would you build? We're gonna teach you in the PMA training in like 3 weeks, right? That's one of Google interview question, because everything sounds good on paper. If I give you unlimited resources, unlimited money, everything can be built. But if I only give you Google interview question, if I only give you 6 engineers within 3 months, what would you build for whatever ABCD Google product? So there's limit to what you can do.
Okay, got it. So if we just keep the Twilio part and take out the third-party integration, then
we don't discuss live right now. You need to think about it, discuss with Mark, discuss with your engineering team. You should already talk to Mark. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay, we don't discuss live. Any other engineers can put questions in the chat, continue conversation, provide feedback as well. Cool. For this a T question. Take one question and quickly we'll move on.
Thanks for the presentation.
Yes.
Quick question. The regulatory hurdles, did you touch on that? I know you mentioned that you have about 5 doctors on board. Could you just briefly touch on the regulatory hurdles in the medical space?
So you have to be HIPAA compliant in the United States, and we're handling that through AWS HIPAA compliant server and storage. using signed BEA. And then also we're handling the patient owns the data, so you are a covered entity since they're subscribing the service to use this system. I have extensive knowledge in terms of compliance because I've been on compliance board for these big companies, and yeah, compliance is not an issue.
Got it. Thank you.
Welcome.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Yes, are you looking for a team? Because I fill in the Google form of the 3 groups, so I chose 10, 11, 14. So I'm interested in joining a team.
Thank you. So yeah, so this is what the tech stack looks like for React Next.js for the dashboard API routes authentication. For the backend, we're using Python Fast API because that's the fastest way to get this done. Engineers who have experience with OCR pipeline, structured extraction, intent classifiers. I don't know if we were going to keep this Medline Plus, but that was the idea, to give meaning to the drug information and reports. And then prompt guardrails that needs to be in place, which is very, very important to stay HIPAA compliant. And then we have the voice integration part of it with Twilio. I think that if we wanted to do it quicker, I think ChatGPT, obviously OpenAI has their own integration with Twilio. That costs a little bit more, but we can go that route as well. For file storage, so Supabase, maybe for Bootcamp, but later on we can move to AWS. Just getting the compliance done in Supabase probably requires a little bit of manual work. Yeah, so that's what we're looking for.
So what do you use for IDs? Are you using like Jira? Are you using Eclipse, Visual Studio's Code? Are you using like PyCharm to do Python? What are you using to do like the coding?
For the coding, I mean, obviously you guys would recommend, right?
Well, what is it?
We haven't talked through about that.
Yeah, all those things we can
We don't have any code yet.
Yeah.
We can have all those in the product ideas
okay.
channel. So
Yeah.
all of I think today we should focus on each of the presentations. I know there's a lot of people. So
Correct.
additional questions, please ask in the product ideas. And
Okay,
then
thank you.
Yep.
Okay, for the sake of time, let's go next.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Some patient is not clear which is prescription or medical reports. Can he upload on this platform and resolve his doubts?
Oh, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Hold on, let's continue. We're very over time. We need to respect other teams' time.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I can answer the questions.
Yeah, everyone post in the Discord channel. Let me talk about the rules again, where you can post. Maybe people are not familiar with how to navigate Discord channel. Stop sharing, please, Fahad. Okay, so by the way, our Zoom can let people in, so you guys can join here. So now quickly, I think let me put here. Everybody post in product idea channel. If you have any other questions, just continue putting here. Okay, put it here and continue. All right, so for everyone else, make sure you go to the same next one, get started. We have your slot is here.
That's me.
Ready AI. Yeah. Let's go.
Hello. Let me reshare my screen.
Janami, let's go.
All right. Hey everyone, this is Janani. I am a principal PM over at Adobe. A lot of my work is in generative AI, specifically multimodal video content creation. So that's relevant for our idea today. We're building a product called Ad Ready AI, and the focus of it is on digital video ads. It is a very large industry. It's over $80 billion just in this year alone in terms of reach of video advertising. And now the issue here is as generative AI becomes more and more available for ad creation, about 40% of that $80 billion industry size is expected to either be generative videos or be edited with generative AI. And so you can imagine that AI is basically making it easier to create more ads faster, but really the question of quality of those ads comes into picture. And the other big data point we're seeing is who's adopting generative AI for creating video ads. Those tend to be these small and mid-sized businesses, brands that own a single product or an individual item. They just want to be able to sell their lamp or their candle or whatever that might be. And they're leaning on AI to be able to create nice visuals for their product. The challenge is they don't necessarily know what makes for good advertising. They don't necessarily know if they are messaging their product the right way, if they're showcasing it in the way that would actually catch the eye of a viewer, and are they making the right types of claims? Those are questions that they don't necessarily know, and just because they're able to create ads easily, they're pushing a lot of questionable slop out there to viewers like us. So who are we trying to reach with our product? What we're trying to do is build an evaluation layer that can very quickly tell you if your video ad that you have created is meeting a certain quality. Does it have false claims in it? Is it showcasing the product right? Is it meeting basic visual requirements for Google or Facebook when you're trying to deploy those ads? And so we're really trying to reach two types of users. We're trying to reach these small, medium businesses. These are the founders, growth marketers for these individual brands. And we're also trying to reach agencies and freelance video creators who generate these types of videos themselves. Both of them tend to be within the creative space. They tend to want to move fast with launching videos or video ads, and they don't want to be spending too much money and time going back and reiterating and changing things. And there's a whole, sort of a cycle that you get caught up in that they're wanting to avoid. So that's our primary focus for this MVP. You can imagine that as we get better with our evaluations, with what we're helping them with, we might want to be targeting enterprise, large agencies, large brands, large marketing companies, things like that. Okay, so
Danny,
yeah.
I mute you by accident. I'm supposed to
No
mute someone
worries.
else.
All good.
Go ahead.
All good. All right. So our high level, who is telling us what the issues are? Our early survey responders, we've only had a couple because we're reaching out to these sort of mid-sized, small-sized brands. It takes a little bit of time to get responses from them. Early feedback is suggesting that some of their big issues with the video ads that they're generating are false claims. They're accidentally saying things in the ad that they can't back up with actual stats, or they're not presenting the product in the way it's supposed to be presented, and so they're failing moderation requirements for big ad distributors like Google and Meta. There are other details in here, but we'll skim past these so I can talk a little bit more about the actual idea. So in terms of what the flow is like, this is a web application where, and our designers have done a beautiful job with early designs, but this is a web application. You show up here, we give you some information. Hey, you're going to be able to evaluate your videos on this website. Here's some useful information on why that matters. And then you can start run your first evaluation. Here's a wireframe for what that would look like, and then I'll show you what the output would look like as well. So you come in here, you tell us, you know, what's your campaign. You're going to start a new campaign. You're going to give us your goals. You're going to give us a URL for the product that you're advertising, from which we will retrieve useful information. We'll probably retrieve product image, things like that. So there's some RAG element there. You'll give us your creative brief, and this is typically some Word document within which you've written what your goals are, how you want to present the content in the video, and things like that. And you'll give us your actual videos that have been created. What we will do is we'll evaluate your video or videos based on this input information, and we'll tell you if your video is ready to go. We're going to provide you an ad ready score. So that's what you see up here. And that score will be compiled based off of a ground truth data set, which we will create for this purpose. And it'll evaluate the video against that ground truth based on preset parameters. So it's going to tell you based on whether the product is represented correctly, whether the message is clear, if there is voiceover, whether that has any false claims in it, and so on and so forth. It will give you the top issues, and then it'll give you some recommendations on how to improve it. So if, for example, the text in the video or the voiceover is incorrect or vague, it'll offer a rewrite of what that text can change to. And then you can go and change your video offline and move from there. So that's what the workflow looks like. Let's see. In terms of what we actually need, the whole appeal of this is the visual front end. So the engineering work, a big part of it will be front end development in terms of making that interface look nice, making it look obvious what to do. There is a huge body of work that is in the back end plus the actual science. So in terms of engineering, we'll need to be able to build out that simple RAG pipeline, a RAG light, if you will, where we retrieve product image, product details from the website and their input brief. We'll also need to be able to build a pipeline that transcribes the videos. So the videos that are uploaded will need some OCR, they'll need some transcription, so an LLM can then understand what's going on in those videos and decide whether or not there are issues with them. And then lastly, in terms of science, the big part of this entire work is the evaluation. The ability to evaluate whether or not a video is good is going to happen through the science. So we're going to build out a very simple but robust evaluation rubric. We'll probably build our own ground truth data set using maybe less than 50 videos, and then decide what parameters on which we want to score those, and then how any input video from a user will be evaluated based on that evaluation rubric. So a big part of our work is going to be applied science. Now, I think that's pretty much it. Very quickly, in terms of where we're going from here, so far we've spent some time wireframing, BOC, defining the personas and the problem itself. From here, we're going to build the actual architecture and the clear user journey for our MVP. And then from there, we'll go on into building and evaluating and testing. But that's all I have.
Great. Are there any questions?
Hi, Janani. Can I ask you a question? Because what you're saying is, are you going to generate the video for the clients? Like, are you going to be a platform like Higgsfield is? Or is a customer going to bring a video they've already generated from Higgsfield? And are you going to be the evaluator on top of that? Or are you both?
Well summarized, we're only the latter. We are not going to generate videos. We're not going into the runway ML mid-journey space. We're just in the industry of evaluating the quality of the content that you've provided. So our big moat is this ad ready score, these evaluation scores. So if you bring a video and you have no idea whether it's good or not, we will help tell you whether it is meeting minimum benchmark.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Are there any other questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, what's the training data set like? Are you going to train your model?
Yeah, we're going to build that. We're going to build an evaluation ground truth data set. We're likely going to, for this MVP, we're going to keep it super simple. We're likely going to compile, and I've started the work for that. We're going to compile a collection of maybe 30 videos and manually human evaluate those based off of a rubric. And that will be our training set per se.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. If you guys have any more questions, please ask in the Discord channel. I'm going to try to see if I can fix this timer here. Give me a second.
Anil, you can run your timer on your end. Yeah.
Okay, and it's 8 minutes. Okay, let me go ahead and do that. And then next team, Bikram, your team is up. Are you guys able to see my timer?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So can everybody see my screen?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So Plan AIV is AI vision for pre-construction. This is mainly to help the builders and architects find the problems before they actually start building. This will be a pre-construction platform. The problem we are trying to solve with this is all the construction document review is still manual. Even in this world, it's manual. Construction is a little behind on technology. So all those manual reviews provide a lot of hidden risks. There are a lot of things that go unnoticed that are not, detected up until it's really late. So the idea that we are presenting is, all the construction documents will be put into, our system, Plan AIV, which would be drawing specifications and other documents. And then Plan AIV will find what are the cross-trade gaps, what is unclear, and what are the items that are contradicting. So we are trying to find risk before it becomes an added cost. So our target persona is Justin, who is an architect. He owns an architecture firm, and he's responsible for talking to the owner and packaging the whole construction set. He talks to the consultant engineers. He creates his own drawings and then issues them to the engineers, gets the engineers' review documents back, and then he reviews them manually in his office, going over page by page, which could be 50 sheets all the way to 5,000 sheets, depending on the size of the project. Their manual QA QC review is very time consuming. It's taken a lot of his time that he could actually devote to something else, that's something more useful. And then, you miss a lot more stuff. So he needs to mitigate his risks by having a computer-aided system or an AI system help him review those documents that will give him a list of all the issues, concerns that he can later go in and fix or to ask his consultants to fix. So for voice of customer, we talk to a few architects, we talk to pre-construction managers, as well as owner developers, and everybody comes back to the same thing, that yes, during the design process there is a lot of ambiguities, and they someone end up having to pay for those at a later date. It could be money, it could be time. AIP hypothesis. So we, review the AI documents, flag missing, unclear, contradictory scope. A lot of stuff that humans cannot easily find. And architects, PM, pre-construction leaders, they will be able to find all this before they actually go to bid. This will enable them to resolve risks earlier, create RFIs faster, and not have to wait up until it's really late in the project. So with this, this is a very feasible product that we will be designing to help the designers, and later on will be carried over to the pre-construction team for the general contractors. Meet the product plan AIV. So a focused MVP, we have the document, that will uploaded will provide, number of items missing, what's unclear, what's conflicting, and then from there on, we will narrow down, review, and the system will provide the list of items that needs to be fixed. This will be a prelim mockup. I'm gonna, so let's say I am working on this, and I'll drop all my documents in here. It will run the analysis, review the findings, and provide me all that information that's needed for me to correct or find, correct the ambiguities. This is an example. Let's say on the mechanical sheet, it says note C electrical for power, but there is no corresponding circuit on the power drawings. So the system will give us an action, issue RFI to add electrical scope. So, the architect can send an email or send a request for information to both the mechanical and electrical contractors or consultants to provide him, with a coordinated set. So we'll be detecting the gaps, we'll be finding the ambiguities, conflicts, and, we'll extract those. Few things that are not yet included in here is the BIM integration that will come in later stage, but cannot be part of this program for the 11 weeks. Moving on to tech stack, I'm going to ask Maria to take, lead on that. Maria, I'll keep running the slides.
Thanks, Bikram. For the AI layer, we're going to be using LLM integration with RAG. We're going to, for the backend, we're going to use Python and FastAI, PDF parsing, and OCR engine for all the plans, APIs, and SQLite. For the data layer, we're going to use the data layer. We're gonna use the document storage. We're gonna use metadata and vector search and a rules library. The rules library is gonna contain all the rules to determine, are we gonna have a light switch where the water pipe is? So that's gonna be where the rules library is. React, upload, flow, and processing status. And I've talked to two architects, and they said the main problem that they're having is finding these gaps and finding things that overlap. So it's either missing or overlapping. And all of them say there's nothing in the market like this. Okay, next, Vikram. Oh, this is our roadmap. We're on week 4. So what we did is we're saying because the developers are going to start next week, we're counting next week as week 5. And then we have for week 5, all the requirements, the sampling data. Then we're going to do the prototype week after that. Then we're going to do the demo and validation. And we left some room for AI review assistant. And now it's back to you, Bikram.
All right. So the progress update, we already updated you where we are. We will be working through with engineers, and we will move forward as the timeline we have provided. What we need from developers, you want to go over that again, Maria?
Yes, we're at almost time. I'll do it in 4 seconds. We need LLM integration, RAG, we need Python, app prototype, and trade rules. And we're at time, so we'll take questions now.
Yeah, are there any questions?
Hi, I have one question, because the construction documents are highly domain specific, and how are you planning to build a reliable data set for training and evaluation? Do you already have a label data set or the benchmark for evaluation?
So I have some construction documents, and I totally agree what you're saying is correct. For now, we are picking up some older projects that I was involved, and I have asked my people I worked with previously to test the system and try the system out. Later down the road, we will actually be contracting or reaching out to the actual architects for their upcoming projects, and then we will take their new projects and go from there. But for studying or for creating the system, we'll be using some older projects that I have worked on, or some of my knowns have worked on previously.
How do you handle permitting structures, commercial versus residential versus hospital? There's so many regulations with permitting, and this electrical outlet needs to be X away, and there's all that. How do you handle those situations?
That would be in the rules, and that is also part of the plans. So if there's something missing in the plan, it's going to detect that gap, and it'll retrieve it back as a gap.
So do you have a source data set of all the rules or regulations on a?
Yes, I do know an architect that has been working on that.
Okay.
Yeah, she has about 40 years experience.
Great. Any other questions? Again, you can always ask in the product ideas as well, but I'll give one more question if anybody has. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to double check that. First of all, I really like this idea.
Thank you.
Would your product give a solution, or just kind of point out the gaps?
So, this is a stripped down version for the 11 weeks. Eventually, we plan on taking it all the way to pre-construction. For now, this is just a starting point where it will provide the gaps, and it will suggest what to do or what to look into. Later down the road, we will find further, we'll dive more deep into it.
Yeah, and from what I understand, is this process of going through all these documents takes a couple of weeks, and I think this will bring it down to hours. And also, what Bikram was saying, the ultimate decision is up to the architect and the engineers. This is only for suggestions, because it's such a tedious work to go through all these different plans and see if there's a gap or anything missing. That would just be a tremendous help. But the decision has to come from the architect.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Additional questions, again, please ask in the product ideas. I want to keep continuing and moving forward. So we'll have Faber AI go ahead. So Srijit, I'll have you.
Yes, so let me just share my screen.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey guys, I am heading out for my citizenship exam. You guys in good hands. Wish me best luck. Keep you posted. Cool. I had to dress for the interview. I had literally dressed up for the interview. It's crazy. Haven't done interview for many years. All right, so you guys are in good hands. I'm gonna log off. And then we'll continue. Okay, let's stick to the plan. Everyone did a good job. Okay, break the leg. Everybody is very exciting.
Good luck, Dr. Nancy. You've got this. All right, we gotta celebrate.
Thank you. Will do. Cool. All right, talk soon. You guys continue. Go ahead.
All right, so I hope my screen is visible and I'm audible.
Yes.
Perfect. So everyone, I'm Srijit Ravichandran. I'm here to present Faber AI for you. So Faber AI is a simple product realization tool. You simply upload a CAD part, and in seconds you get the manufacturability read, and you can trust and share. There we go. So who's this for? It's for designers, project managers, purchasing, and all those who touch the bill versus code decision-making loop. Faber AI reviews a part for molding and 3D printing, flags problems, names the cost drivers, and recommends the better process. Why now? We see a lot of tech giants focusing on AR and VR wearables, and we also see automotive industries, looking to expand into EVs and, getting into less costly cars. And both of them need cheaper, faster, and more defensible mold versus print answers. In case anyone's new to the term DFM, it stands for Design for Manufacturing, which just means checking whether a part can actually be made by a given process before you commit to it. Things like wall thickness, draft angles, and undercuts that look awesome in a CAD model often fail on the shop floor. That's the judgment that Faber AI automates. And this code isn't a black box. Every issue lands in one of three tiers: blockers, major, and minor. and only true impossibilities cap the scoring. Every report gives both process scores side by side, suggests the best process with reasoning, a 3D highlight on the defect, and an export option. Five roles fill the same gap, namely junior design engineers who lack manufacturing intuition, senior engineers who become the review bottleneck, sourcing agents stuck on the volume versus geometry debate, non-engineering founders driving schedules and technical decision making, and engineering managers who often just watch reworks and redesign burn hours on the timeline. The primary target is the junior design engineer because they're the ones who need the feedback the most, but are often the last to get it. So these are who we put forward in our survey. So we surveyed about 15 engineers or sourcing agents and managers, and we're expecting to, carry out a few more interviews throughout this week. And what we found is the pain is real and it's already too late. 85% wait 2 or more days for manufacturing feedback, and over half of those wait a full week or more. The average pain score is 3.4 out of 5, with 92% rating it 3 or higher. 70% say the real showstoppers slip through to porting or production before anyone catches them. And only 23% felt confident choosing between a molding or printing process. The takeaway, a slow, late, and low confidence loop. That's exactly the gap we're trying to fill. And this is what they told us they want. The hardest errors need to be caught earliest. Undercuts in complex cavities stop the requirement, followed by draft angle judgments. These are precisely the checks our engines are going to be targeting. And what they pay for is saved analysis history and shareable reports. One thing that we're focusing is, monetization should not be stopping them from getting core insights, but it's only monetizing their ability to take it away and share it with others. Three findings are going to tie it together. Trust needs visual proof plus reasoning, and they want feedback where they work, such as CAD platforms and a PDF report. And our blocker, major, and minor tiers are already how 70% of the industry triages their parts. So this is how we are going to judge ourselves. We believe self-serve automated manufacturing feedback at the CAD stage cuts early stage redesign cycles by about 80% and part to process mismatches by 75%. Those are pretty aggressive numbers, but that's on purpose. We'll know it's working when three things hold. An industry expert validates at least 90% of our tool call issues. That's a credibility anchor, by the way. Post handoff change orders drop measurably, and the alpha adoption clears about 70% of the target users. Early signals from the 13 that we have surveyed show about 70% already report late showstopper leakage, the exact cost we're trying to attack. Visual highlights plus reasoning on the top trust drivers, and that's something that we're focusing on building. And almost 70% of our early surveys are happy to pilot on their own CAD models. For the roadmap, the first couple of weeks, we're going to focus on the spine, which is going to be the main engine that extracts part details and prepares the raw information from a 3D CAD model and feeds it into our decision loops. Weeks 3 and 4, we're going to focus only on the molding reviewer. We'll focus just on one particular manufacturing process and validate our engine and our models. Weeks 5 and 6, we're going to again shift to, working on 3D printing, and this can be pretty quick because we've already validated our engine. And we're also going to focus on UI refinements. Weeks 7 and 8 are going to be really important because this is where the expert validation comes in, and we'll have to make sure that, we hit the 90% target. We'll also be working in sub-functional feature-focused groups to ensure that we hit all our goals in the time period that we have. Here's a quick look at the preliminary mock-up of our hero page, which is going to show a clear recommendation with an explanation and a scorecard that supports it. And the general full flow is going to be, you upload your STEP or STL file formats, which is most commonly used in the manufacturing industry. The review issues are pinned directly on 3D model, each with a plain English Y and a severity tier. Then you export it either as a PDF report or a shareable link. That export fee is where free meets paid, tying it back to what our people said they'd pay for. So 1 week into the project, we have already started and we're well into the customer interviews, and we're still going to do that throughout this week. We are also going to be tying down our PRDs from these survey inputs as well as PM inputs. And we're going to, finally fix our design mockups, make sure that we have an hard and logged in design direction. We're also locking the problem and the specs for this particular tool. So who we are looking for? We're looking for, backend engineers with focus on Python. The Python expertise is required because we need it for, parsing the geometries. We also require people with experience in Fast API with Python OCC or Open Cascade. Try-mesh to parse the files again and extract measurements that are going to be used on every runs. We're also looking at front-end engineers with experience in React, just to help us with the file uploads, the scorecards, and the 3D viewers. And we definitely need a data scientist to help with research and tune the thresholds and scoring. In addition to this, we're also looking for people who have general machine language algorithm experiences, or specifically, random forest methods, because we're going to have a wide set of data set that needs to be integrated. So one section where AI is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting is obviously the AI engine for passing through the paths, as well as we're going to use AI all along to give us the explanations, do the reasoning, and also weighing the different processes. So that's Faber AI for you, and I'm thank you for your time, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Great job. Anyone have any questions? Okay, and if you do, please go ahead to the product ideas and go ahead and ask. And then I know Bikram's team, they changed it to Plan AIV. It used to be called, I think, pre-config, right? Bikram, pre-config, pre-con intelligence. So the Google form might...
Pre-con intelligence, and the name was changed to Plan AIV.
So if you did pre-con intelligence, I just changed the Google form. It's okay. I know that, that's the team you're still kind of looking for. So no problem.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to the next team. If there are no questions, it is iFriend. Uma, you're up.
Is my screen visible?
It's getting there. Not yet. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead and start.
Okay. So we are building a website. Usually, visually impaired individuals face significant challenges in performing everyday tasks independently. And we are going to focus on one such aspect of their life, which is shopping. So basically, we are building a website where visually impaired people are able to shop offline. It's not online shopping, it is offline shopping. So iFriend is an AI-powered shopping assistant for visually impaired individuals, and we are going to focus on only 3 features. One will be to get the customer to the product which they want to buy, and then second will be a product comparison of different brands, and third will be currency recognition. So for making the payments offline, they would need to recognize the currency, and that's what the third feature is. And 825 million people worldwide are living with visual impairment. So we are targeting on helping these people. This is our user persona based on the user interviews. This is a person who is able to hear properly, but has a little less than complete vision or have blurry vision. This person should be able to use the assistive technology, as in they would be in a position to use the phone through touch or the website. They should be at least able to access the features that we are providing through the website. They should be able to hear properly. And vision, as discussed, it would be not blind, because we are not targeting the blind customers in the beginning, although we will get there, but in the beginning we are trying to have some vision at least. And these are the real features that we are targeting to have on the website. And how the customer will learn about the website, we will be promoting it at schools for visually impaired people and art galleries and museums for such people. There they can expect and get the website. And the need is these people look for ways to assist visually impaired individuals, and they want to help themselves as well at grocery stores and other places, and they usually seek help. But that's not what we are doing right now. Although some competitors in the market do that, they provide an option to call them and provide volunteering on phone, but that's not something that we are targeting. And the main pain point that we are focusing on is improper vision that leads to difficulty and lack of confidence. And the website will use, how it will function is, first feature will be integrated through the use of webcam. The device camera will be accessed, and the real-time audio description of the visual on screen will be described through AI. And then the customer expectations will be to be able to access the website 24/7 and to be able to describe the scene without much interaction, because in the interviews we got to know that patients or people with the impairment do not want to prompt to the AI continuously. They want the AI itself to help them. So that's one of the expectations that they have, major expectation. And as discussed, the website will also be able to identify the currency by a picture. This is the tentative AI pipeline that we have built based on the technical expertise that we had. It is going to be based on speech to text, text to speech, and SSM, which is speech synthesis, markup language, and natural language understanding. So if any of you is aware of any of these technologies, it would be great to have you. And we are targeting processing time of under 3 seconds. The system should be able to provide the audio output within 3 seconds minimum, not more than that. This is the technical implementation stack, and AI processing layer, we will be using this one. And we can make changes as we go and develop the application. Basically, for API gateways, we'll be using Node.js, Fast API, and React and Next.js for web application. And for data layer, we'll be using PostgreSQL, Redis, CDN. And here is a small prototype that our magnificent designers have come up with. This will highlight the 3 main features that we have discussed. And let me know if you guys can hear the audio.
Describe setting.
You are yes, we can hear the next one.
Fresh produce section is ahead, roughly 10 steps forward. A promotional stand is in the center of the aisle. Slide left to walk around it. Read this nutrition label. This rice has a net weight of 5 kilograms, 150 calories. Expiration date of August 14, 2027. Canopy goes live. Serving size 1 folder top on 4. 45 to 151 servings per container. 2, 2, 5, 10, 7, 10, 10.
I think we lost the audio.
Brand $1 3.85. Brand $2 2.40. Calories. Brand 1 150. Brand 2 250. Sugar. Brand 1 6 grams. Brand 2 3D. Origin. Brand 1 global mix. Brand 2 single estate Brazil. Organic. Brand 1. Brand 2. Overall rating. Brand 4.2. Brand 2 4.8. Brand 2 has less sugar compared to brand 1. Identify it. Any variable detected.
And this is our future vision. Right now, we are having a website. We are building a website, and in future, if time permits, we will have it in the form of a mobile application, an iPhone or an Android. And if that also completes, then we may integrate the application to a smart eyewear with Meta.
All right, great job. One of the things that I want to emphasize for this is because it's real-time video and audio, video analysis with low latency and then audio description. If you are putting this as one of your top 3 AI products you want to join, please share that experience if you have that, because I think for this team specifically, we want to make sure that skill set is there.
Yeah.
And then someone asked if you could share the tech stack one more time, really quick, just that page. All right, Samir, any questions, or we're going to keep moving? Okay, we'll keep moving. If you have questions, please ask again in the product ideas channel. This is just the introduction for a lot of the engineers and data scientists. You probably have more nuanced questions, and feel free to ping Uma and ask more questions.
Yeah, we would love to have anyone who's having the relevant skills. We would be, you would be valuable to us.
Thank you. Minnie, you're up with College Compass AI. I don't know if you're on mute, so you need to unmute yourself.
And with unmuting.
Yep, you're good now.
Okay, sorry about that. And I will share again. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so the College Compass AI is basically an AI-powered college admissions guidance for every family across US. It's built on equity and not privilege. And I will go through this as I kind of explain the problem that we have at hand. But I am personally facing this right now as my kids are growing into the college. Growing kids, and I'm dealing with this where I have to figure out how the admissions process works, how the application process works, what are the detailed deadlines, so many things to keep in mind. So this is meant for the students, families, and in future, even school districts, which would like to get a more tracking around how the student is getting admissions to various college across US. In future, maybe internationally, but right now the problem is focused for US. So what is the issue that we're trying to target? So there's millions of families, like I said, every year that go through this process. They have a smart kid, very motivated, ready to go to college, but they have no idea what the process looks like due to many reasons. They are not truly uninformed. There is a lot of information out there. Internet is filled with information. You can use even ChatGPT for that matter, but not so much in a process to quickly learn in the short period of time that they have to apply. And so what most of the families do who have the extra cash or they have the privilege of living in the right zip code because they are going to they're going to private schools and certain public schools as well, which have good I would say tax brackets that the parents are already paying, they can actually get access to some of these through that counseling. But it's very expensive in most cases. So it kind of leaves everybody else on their own. So these are kind of my high level buckets of problems we are trying to solve with this product. the deadline overload. There are hundreds of deadlines, depending on which colleges you're trying to apply. There's financial aid deadlines, there's essays that you need to submit. And obviously, one missed deadline leads to that loss of opportunity to get into that college. It's a disconnected system. There is no way to fully track end to end how your child is progressing towards this deadline. We are learning, and it's so exciting to actually see through the voice of customer that they're using spreadsheets, notes, different types of even like just having a text pad where they're tracking this stuff offline, unless they have paid for this fancy tools. So it is unaffordable. If you want to have a full tracking system, you have to pay around 10 to 50K to these fancy professional consultants, which is not in budget for every family. Siloed coordination. Parent and children don't have visibility into each other's spaces. So the student is kind of trying to figure this out on their own. Parent feels a little frustrated and clueless on how they can further support. I'm going to quickly go over because I feel like I'm burning my time here. So market opportunity, there's 16 million student families. There's a lot of, and they're currently paying 50K if you did want to go. So we have a revenue-based model which we'd like to approach. So going further down, so who are the target audience? We want to target these students as well as the parents. We do want to go further down in future post MVP into like independent college counselors, school districts. But right now, with the time that we have, these are the two target personas that we'll go after. We are doing our voice of customer. It's in progress right now. We have collected a few inputs. We'd like to do more by end of this week, but I'm already seeing excellent feedback, which tells me that the product is on the right path. We are definitely having serious complications and problems around how this whole process works, especially for first generation parents. I think they face it a lot more because the system is complicated. I have the two AI hypotheses. We will have a couple of AI capabilities. Right now, the two hypotheses are based on one around the RAG-based system where we could give them good feedback if they had questions. And then what it's kind of going away from is paying for the consultants. So it'll be 1/100th of the cost. And we will have a subscription. If they go beyond certain number of questions, we can go to a subscription model. Then there is the nudge engine, which they can have reminders on any deadlines that are coming, any essays that they need to finish. As you know, teenage brain is hard to already cope with the hormones. So now you have to the reminders are going to be excellent help for the student to keep them on track. And this will also help the parent keep the student on track. So what is the solution we are going after? There is going to be a student profile tracker, readiness dashboard, application command center, financial hub, AI definitely built in a lot of these things, but additionally the AI coach, and then the parent portal where the parent can see it's more read-only so that they can help the student. I have wireframes. We are going through, like I said, the voice of customer. So these are very preliminary wireframes, definitely detailed, but we would like to make sure these get reviewed again with our excellent UX team once we get all the voice of customer findings back. So that way it's kind of attuned to what exactly that the customer needs and the problem that needs to be solved more immediately. But there's login, onboarding, dashboard around with the AI coach. What are the colleges that the student applied? What are the deadlines coming? I'll go jump into the AI coach side. There's the interaction between the student and the AI coach, and then suggestions that the coach provides around what the next steps should look like, which would come under the My Profile section. My profile section, which gives you the profile strength, which is also AI generated, and then what are kind of the next steps that the student can take. They could create their own roadmap, which then AI can help them remind them around how things are coming close and what they need to do next. So that's where the wireframes are. So what do we need in terms of the tech stack? I'm going to try to zoom out a bit. We have Next.js. Again, this is starting off as a web app, but eventually it's going to become the actual on the phone and both Apple as well as Android support. So this is how we are looking for it right now. Again, like I said, a lot of AI/ML features. There are interesting problems that we need to solve, and thought around how can we minimize cost? What are the safety and quality that we need to add? We are recommending to students, and so we want to make sure we have all those guardrails in place. And progress so far, going to be quick here. PRD is there. There's the AI hypothesis. Competitive analysis has been completed. We have a lot of documentation which we would like to review with our engineering partners. A lot of good details have already been flushed out because there is data out there which can be used. So we'd love to kind of partner with our engineering team to have this reviewed and finalized. The voice of customer is in progress. We would like to make sure the wireframes line up with that once that's completed. And then the roadmap. So the first few weeks are going to be the initial few foundation as well as the tracker integrating with the college platforms. This score is actually AI generated, so there'll be something there as well. And then the phase 3 will be all in with AI, followed by the nudge engine. This is like my I'd love to have this, which is a stretch goal essentially, where we would focus on one track, like this BSMD is the medical track. So it'd be great to have that one focus track if we could pull it in, but that is a stretch goal. And then I think it's similar to what I presented earlier on who we need. There's definitely need for data scientists as well, because there's a lot of models that we'd like to work together and bring in to life. And finally, why should you join our team? It's a real problem that we're solving and real market opportunities, a great PM design team that we already have, and a lot of documentation data is already in place. So there's momentum. You can jump in and start building. Obviously, it's portfolio worthy. You will be helping a lot of students across America. And then I'll just put this one.
Okay, I do think there's a lot of features here. I think kind of some other teams, you will have to prioritize which one of these features are kind of important in this short duration of this
Yeah.
cohort. So that'll be something you will have to kind of figure out with your engineers and kind of what you guys think from a pain point perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like my hope is once they reviewed some of these docs, they can tell me like these are achievable and the others are like, let's kind of scrub them. But
okay,
thank you for
in the
that.
sake of time, please ask questions with Minnie and the team in the product ideas channel. This way you can continue those conversations. So let's move on as well. Last team is Tempo, Tatiana. She's from cohort 8. We're going to give her a few developers. So Tatiana, go ahead and you can start.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Hi everyone, I'm Tatiana, and this is Tempo. Tempo is an AI planning tool that helps people turn messy to-do lists into realistic weekly plans. The vision is simple. Your calendar should not only manage your meetings, it should help you manage your whole life, work, health, personal tasks, goals, and everything that usually gets pushed to later. The problem is not that people do not know what they need to do. The problem is that they do not find the right time to do it. In our research, 88% of users had personal task stuck from the previous month. 91% had open calendar gaps every day. And 78% feel guilty or stressed about wasted time. So people do have time, but when a gap appears, they are usually too busy or too tired to decide what to do with it. So our hypothesis is that if Tempo understands someone's calendar, priorities, energy level, and free time, then it can recommend a weekly plan
that people are actually willing and able to follow. That is the gap Tempo solves. So we are building for people like Alex, busy professionals with many meetings, high digital adoption, and personal responsibilities outside work. Alex already has a calendar, Alex already has tasks. What Alex does not have is a system that connects both. Users told us things like, I waste too much time down scrolling, and when I realized the gap is gone. Another user said it will need to understand how well I track my commitments and adjust. And that is very important because Tempo is not just about scheduling tasks once. Tempo needs to learn how people actually behave and adjust the plan over time. So last cohort, we proved the core MVP. Tempo could take a brain dump, understand a user's calendar, and automatically schedule tasks into available time. Now we are building the next layer, turning Tempo from a scheduling tool into an AI live operating system. That means 6 core capabilities. The first one is the adaptive rescheduling. So when life changes or something in the calendar, only the broken parts of the plan move. Energy intelligence, so high effort tasks go into high energy windows. Goal tracking, so goals across health, relationships, finances, career, and personal growth became real calendar actions. 4, the complexion tracking, so Tempo learns what users actually finish. 5th, momentum and streaks, so users can see progress and stay motivated. And finally, proactive planning, so Tempo can surface what needs attention before it becomes urgent. So the key idea is that Tempo does not just create a plan, it helps user execute it. So, oh my God, yeah. So over the next 6 weeks, our focus is very clear. So week 1 is core refinement, improving the brain dump flow, validating the energy level toggle, and making sure the planning logic works reliable. For the week 2 is the multi-calendar setup, so users can connect more than one calendar from different email providers as an input and output calendars. For week 3 will be the Outlook integration. Week 4 is Apple Calendar and the first version of the recommendation engine. So Tempo can detect gaps and suggest better plans based on energy and schedule. By week 5 is the React Native mobile app, because this product needs to live where people manage their phones. And week 6 is feedback and beta readiness, so we can track how users interact with Tempo and improve the recommendation loop. By the end of this roadmap, Tempo should have a smarter planning, multi-calendar support, a mobile MVP, and a user feedback loop. Now I will show you a short video of the MVP working. So first, the person set the preferences. Then the person brain dumps the week. Once the person do the brain dumps, Tempo creates a structured plan and suggests and asks for clarification, from the brain dump. It has a priority, some durations already standard. Once the person confirms the task, it's able to ask Tempo how the week should look, if light or heavy.
Oh my God.
And then it explains the user why Tempo decided to fit those tasks on these gaps. Once the person edit or modify or is agree with those tasks, the person can commit into the calendar and Tempo will do it for you. And Tempo will create the task in your calendar that you already select. So that's our MVP. So what you saw well, is the foundation. The foundation. So the user gives Tempo messy input. Tempo reads the calendar, finds open time, and turns that into a structured plan. So now the next step is making that plan smarter, more adaptive, and more personal. So for developers, this is a strong technical challenge. We are not just building another to-do list or a scheduling app or a chatbot. Tempo sits at the intersection of AI reasoning, scheduling optimization, personalization, calendar integrations, and real human behavior. We need people excited about AI reasoning, calendar integrations, React Native, backend systems, because the idea is to move this to be a phone app. And that's it.
Really quick.
We are.
Go ahead.
We are build. Sorry.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Yeah. No, I was to say that Tempo helps people plan smarter, reclaim their time, and build a week they can actually follow. So yeah, thank you. That was it.
Thank you, Tatiana. One thing I want to clarify: we are not doing React Native. Just so you know, we are not building web apps. So React.js, Angular, Solid.js, Next.js is fine. It'll be like a PWA, kind of what you did in cohort 8. So I want to emphasize that we didn't do any technical assessments for React Native. So that's something that, just as an FYI for all the developers, that could be something you can find developers outside. But the other features, you can prioritize with that. I'll stop really quick. Any questions for Tatiana and Tempo? This would be a good time for a developer to ask.
What tech stack is required for this project?
He asked,
Sorry,
what is
your
current tech stack for this? You had it in your
backend.
Yeah.
Can you repeat again? I barely hear you.
He asked, what is your tech stack?
What tech stack is required for this project?
No, I can't understand him.
Like for front-end React.js, for backend Python.
He is asking, what is your technical stack that you are currently using to build today? What is the technical stack?
Yeah, so right now we are using React, Node, Supabase, Google Calendar API, TypeScript. Vercel too. So yeah.
Okay. Great. Same thing. So with Tatiana, if you are interested, Tatiana, you're not in the cohort 9 chat. So I'll kind of think through. If you guys have a question for Tatiana, let me know and I can create a group chat with Tatiana so you can ask her specific questions around Tempo. Okay, I think that's it. I think you guys all did an awesome job, right? This presentation was just a few minutes of all the hard work that everybody's been doing, like weeks and weeks of interviewing, kind of iterating, having meetings. So this is a lot of hard work, even for today. And I think that's what this cohort is really about. A lot of hard work, a lot of diligence. We want to bring together really smart, aptitude, hardworking individuals across the globe to build something. So first off, great job, everybody. I think this is kind of some really cool ideas, some awesome products that are going to be built in this cohort. So I want to say awesome job with that. What I also want to do really quick, hold on, give me 1 second here, is there is a weekly checklist. 2 things. So really quick, if you are a data scientist or a developer, front end, back end, full stack, or the dual role, in the chat, I put the Google form. Please go ahead and fill that out. I do give priority to, first it's the lead engineer who wants to be a lead engineer. Every team, I want to get at least 1 lead engineer on it. That'll be kind of those that are leading the system design architecture, right? There's a lot of conversations on, we need help for the product management team. How should we build it? So someone that's willing to say, I will take on that responsibility, please go ahead and do that. That's something that we want to do. And then make sure that after that conversation with the team, you're going to share that with the mentor Mark on office hours. So please go ahead, look at the chat, fill out that form as soon as possible. That's something that we want to reiterate. The other thing is sometimes Google Form has an issue as well, where sometimes when you submit it, for some reason, there's a few people where that submission doesn't take. So in this, you'll probably get a URL, a unique dynamic URL for your Google Form submission. Save that. By Friday, a product manager should reach out to you, say, hey, you've been selected to be one of the teams. If you are not getting that message by Friday, on Saturday, please reach out to me and ping to me so that I have to see, hey, did we get your submission? Yes or no? And if we didn't, I might ask you to go ahead and resubmit. So that's why saving that URL, that dynamic URL, is very beneficial. Also, as an engineer, data scientist, you do have to pick 3 distinct different teams that you will rank your first, second, and third priority. They have to be different. So I don't want someone kind of picking one team all 3 times. It's got to be different. And please do the hard work of whatever you pick, you are willing to commit to any of those, okay? I have to look through what your role is and make sure there's equal distribution of every role. I have to talk through the different product teams and see what they're looking for. So do the legwork of I will commit to any of these 3, and then by Friday or so, you'll get to know which team. Product managers, then make sure you add them to your new Discord server. That's very important. And the biggest thing, right? Now you have a global cohort, a much larger group. Think of the cadence. What is the cadence going to be for synchronous conversations? When will all the team across the globe start meeting? You know, it could be once a week, twice a week, whatever that cadence is. Make sure you set that up early. Set up what the culture should be as well. When there's disagreements, when people have other priorities, how should they communicate with you? So think through scheduling, think through weekly cadence, think through that early. It's much easier now before any work is done that you really start doing that. So I highly encourage that you do that. And then finally, where's the share option here? Give me 1 second. Share. The product managers all know this. This is the weekly sheet for kind of your tracker. So product managers, make sure you are doing that for your individual teams. As you can see here, there's kind of the tracker that's occurring for each of the week. What are the things that need to be done? Also, personally, you can also download this for yourself individually. So you can go to File, Download, put it in Excel, or just make a copy of it for yourself. So I will share that here for the weekly checklist. Engineers, data scientists, you don't have to do this. It's really for the PMs to do it. So you're free to kind of download it yourself. Only the ones that we're keeping on a shared repository in this case is at the team level, but you are free to download it locally or make a copy, a private copy for yourself and kind of go through some of the learnings as well. But kind of a weekly checklist for the teams so that we see that there is a forward progression. So great job, everyone. I think you guys did an awesome job. The recording, the recording will be available. Zoom takes a few hours to kind of aggregate and give us a static IP of this. So within 24 hours, I will make sure the team posts the recording of this presentation. So thank you all for your time. Are there any final questions that I can help answer?
Yes. What should I be doing? So I did the Google form, like you said. I chose the teams. What should I be focusing on right now? I did reach out to them too, run them as another meeting, but what should I be doing right now between now and Friday?
So right now, it's kind of waiting for everybody to finalize that. I will then go through the analysis of where the teams will be based on the top 3 tiers. And if they're a lead engineer, you as the engineer now during this few day duration, you have the self-training documents that you can review and kind of start learning that I did during the onboarding training. So go ahead and go through that review process.
Is it under announcements or like
it should be under announcements. It should be either cohort 9 all or announcements. The training should be there. Yeah. From this Mondays. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I'll check those out and just like watch the videos and just like learn about that. And then should I be like taking notes, go to like, use Google Sheets like this to record anything?
That's up to you how you learn best. That's really up to you. Whatever your learning specific style is.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Any other questions? Otherwise, thank you all for your time. I know this took a little bit longer, but great job, everybody. Thank you all for your time.